Good afternoon everybody, welcome along again to another cooking lesson. I'm going to be making this afternoon a roasted pepper and tomato soup. So let's have a look at the ingredients. We have got some bell peppers, all fresh, some nice tomatoes, a large onion, some garlic, some ground paprika, Lee & Perrins Worcestershire sauce, some balsamic vinegar, Cajun season, and some olive oil, and obviously salt and pepper. So the first thing I'm going to do is to just get a roasting pan. I'm going to make this in a roasting pan because we want this to have a roasted flavour rather than kind of a usual kind of boiled soup flavour. So I'm just gonna put my pan on to heat through. So that gets quite hot, and then we'll begin by slicing our peppers. And what I will do, I can just angle the camera down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. One pepper. There we go. And obviously the seeds and the the flesh is on the inside. So what I do, let me just turn that off because that's smoking a bit too hot. Is best way to slice a pepper is, as you can see, it's all in different segments. So you just take your knife and you cut down those segments, and then what you're left with is the seeds and the fleshy bits as well. So just gonna roughly chop these. I mean, these are going to be in a soup, so you don't have to be too precise with them. So put them to one side, but what I will do is I'll use these bits as well, because these are all good to use, and then just discard the seeds. I'll also be using this bit. All you've got to do is break away the stalk, and then you've got this bit to use as well. And just repeat this with the peppers. If you're making a lot of soup, obviously make a lot of chop a lot of peppers. If there's only a couple of you in a household, then just do 2 or 3. So I'm doing 3 here because I want to make quite a big batch, because I want this to last. Because unfortunately the supermarkets are still being bombarded with people who are panic buying food. So obviously stocks are a little limited, which is unfortunate, but that is what we're dealing with at the moment with this coronavirus. So hopefully it will start to kind of subside soon, but we just don't know. So just try and make the best of what food reserves you have and do whatever you can. And hopefully these videos will help you do that. So that's the tomatoes chopped. Sorry, the peppers chopped, and then the tomatoes, we're just gonna half them. Straight in half. No messing around. You can, if you want, core the tomatoes. Taking a small knife and just running that around the inside of the core. So tip of a knife, and you just run that inside and around. Obviously careful of your fingers. And then that just comes out like so. Not very good, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. So the that's the tomatoes and the peppers done. Garlic, really simple. Again, what I'll try and do actually, because if I have some garlic already open, which I don't, so use fresh garlic and just break open a couple of cloves, and you can use these whole cloves. You don't have to chop them if you don't want to. And there we go. So again, crush. This is a really good soup because it's actually quite a healthy soup as well, because it's all fresh veg. You know, we're not frying anything, we're not you know, we're not really doing anything other than roasting it. We're using very little oil and fat, so this is all quite a nutritious soup as well, and it's something that will keep as well if you want to make this last, you know, over several meals. That garlic there is just a bit on the black side, so I'm just going to throw that away. And then if they are particularly large bulbs of garlic, just watching your fingers, just chop them up like so. Okay, so but I'm just going to use the rest whole as they are. Now the onion, because this is quite a large onion, I'm just going to use probably half, because onion can be quite strong. Usually in this recipe I'll use a red onion, but I don't have any, so I'm just using a white onion instead, and that's one of the reasons I'm only going to do half, because white onion is quite strong, whereas a red onion is relatively sweet. So chop your onion, be mindful of your fingers. And there we go. And actually that doesn't seem like a huge amount, so what I will do, rather than have the other half go to waste, I'll just use it up, because it will get eaten, and you can freeze this as well, so you know, nothing's really going to go to waste. So again, just peel your onion, and then slice. Okay, so we're now going to light our stove again. I'll just angle the camera up. So, hello Dad. My dad, bless him, he's in self-isolation at the moment because he's not feeling too good. So, hi Dad. So, in with your olive oil, and then in with your tomatoes and your onions and your peppers. All of that goes in. And then we just want to turn the heat down slightly, because you don't want any of this to burn. You just want it to gently caramelise. So we'll season with some salt and pepper. We'll also add some balsamic vinegar. And our paprika. I'm just going to add a teaspoon of paprika. And I will also add a teaspoon of Cajun pepper as well, or Cajun spices. This will just give it an extra kick. In that goes. I'll give it a mix. And that's starting to smell really nice now. What I'll also add as well is just a teaspoon of sugar, and this will just bring out some of the sweetness in the tomatoes, and it'll help calm down the onions as well, because as I say, the white onion is a lot harsher than red onion. And what we don't want is that bitter flavour. So I'll add a drop more olive oil. I've preheated my oven at 250 degrees. And I'll put that in the oven and let that cook for about 25 to 30 minutes, just so all that veg is roasted and golden brown on top. And then what I will do is add some chicken stock. No, I won't. I'll add some veg stock. Add some veg stock, and then let that cook down again for another 5-10 minutes. And once that's cooked down and reduced, we start to then basically press the veg through a sieve to get all the goodness out of the tomatoes, and then just calm it down and thin it out a bit with some cream and maybe a little butter, and then blitz that, and then you'll have a really nice roasted pepper and tomato soup. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Come on, make me famous. That's from my dad. Hello, Dad. I hope you're resting up, is the honest answer, and getting better. Yeah, thanks very much, and we'll see you soon. Cheers. So guys, welcome back. You didn't honestly think I would kind of do all that work and then just not let you see the end results, did you? Not a chance, because this is a really nice recipe. It's got great flavours, and it'd be a shame to not to show you the end results. So The veg is still being in the oven for about 20 minutes now, so last 5 minutes, and then that'll come out. We'll add the stock and finish the recipe. But seeing as this is the reason why I'm doing this is all because of obviously the coronavirus and people being in quarantine or lockdown, self-isolation, whatever you want to call it. I just thought I'd pass on this bit of information that I came into contact with earlier on today. This is, so say, the advice of a pathologist that performed the autopsies on some of the victims of the coronavirus in China. So these are his things of what to do, really. So number one being drink lots of hot liquids, so coffees, soups, tea, hot water, that kind of thing. Take a sip of warm water every 20 minutes. This keeps the mouth moist and washes any virus into your stomach, where gastric juices neutralize it before it gets to your lungs. So it kind of makes perfect sense, really. Gargle with an antiseptic in warm water. That can either be vinegar, salt, or lemon. Doesn't sound too great, but needs must. Do that every day. The virus attaches itself to hair and clothes. Detergent or soap kills it. Take a bath or shower when you get home straight away before sitting down. Again, that's easy said than done for a few of us. If you cannot wash clothes daily, hang in direct sunlight to neutralise the virus. Obviously, take the clothes off first. And wash metallic surfaces carefully. The virus can linger on these for up to 9 days. Clean hands, clean handrails, door handles, and any kind of surfaces regularly. Don't smoke. Obviously, that's a big number one no-no. Coronavirus is a respiratory infection, so obviously attacks the lungs, and smoking is not going to do you any favours whatsoever. So if you do smoke, quit right now. Wash your hands every day, up to 20 minutes. No, that should be 20 seconds. With hot soap and water. Obviously do them as much as you can throughout the day. Eat fruits and vegetables, increase your zinc levels. Animals do not spread the virus to people, so if you've got pets at home, then it's always handy to know that you can't catch anything from them when you take them out for your one trip of exercise. Try to avoid getting the flu. Try avoid getting the flu. Okay. Avoid eating and drinking cold things. If you feel a sore throat coming on, attack with the above methods. The virus stays in the throat for 3 to 4 days before being passed in the lungs. So I'm no doctor by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't know whether any of that does any good or not. It sounds completely plausible, like good advice, but I don't think it can do you any harm. But like I said, I'm not a doctor, but that has come from a pathologist who did the autopsies of some of the victims of the coronavirus in China, in Wuhan. So there you have it. Right, let's get back to our soup. So that is now 25 minutes in the oven. So wow, just look at that, and if you could smell that, that is absolutely divine. I mean, wow. If Instagram can create some kind of smell-o-vision, then do it, because this tastes absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to put that back on the hob. Let's move you in just a little bit closer, and I'm going to return some heat, not too much, because I don't want this to kind of catch. So a low heat I'm going to do, and then I'm just going to take our vegetable stock and add that in. Okay. A spoon, and just give that a good old mix. And what I'll do at this stage is just add a touch of the old Lee & Perrins Worcestershire sauce. Just a splash, and just give that again a mix through. Turn the heat up just slightly, and you can actually see the tomatoes, the onion, the peppers, they've all broken down, they've become nice and charred, so you get that roasted flavour. And we'll just, as always, because it is important to do, just give it a little taste. Not bad, not bad at all. Needs a little bit more of a cooking out. Doesn't need any more salt, that's for sure, because obviously the stock that you use, I've just used a couple of vegetable stock cubes. That's got plenty of salt in it, so it doesn't need any more salt at this moment in time, and it doesn't need any more sugar either, because obviously we've got the natural sugar from tomatoes and the onions. We put a little bit of sugar as well just before it went into the oven, and it's got a nice background heat from the Cajun seasoning. What I will do though is I will just add a touch of some more paprika. And just give that a good old mix in. And like I said, there's nothing really unhealthy about any of this, because there's no animal fats in there, there's no butter, there's not really a huge amount of olive oil. There's only really, you know, teaspoon and a half maybe. Yeah, that now, seasoning wise, I would say that is pretty good to go. So this is a relatively healthy soup until we add in some cream, because this will just give it just a little bit of richness. So just again, just add a small bit and then mix in. So just mellow it down a bit as well. So if you've gone overboard on the spices, that bit of cream will just take away the heat. Have a taste. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So that small bit of cream, I just added some really nice background, kind of mellow feel to it. So all that's left to do now really is to put the mixture into a food processor, which I'm not going to show you because I will guarantee this will go everywhere and I will look like a complete idiot. So I'm going to do that when the camera's turned off. But yeah, just so put that into a food processor and then you are good to go. So what I'll do is, just before you go, that is basically what we've ended up with. So at the moment it's quite runny, it's quite thin, But once we've blended everything up, obviously that will become nice and thick and good to go. So thanks very much for tuning in. That's been my roasted pepper and tomato soup with smoked paprika and garlic. What I will do is I will upload the full recipe and list of ingredients onto my blog site, which is foodreviewuk.net, and I'll also upload everything onto Facebook, Instagram and Twitter as well. So don't forget to give me a like and a follow, and this video will come up on YouTube as well, along with the first part of this video. So thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys, bye bye.